Hello and welcome everyone, my name's Harrison and we are in Arma 3 today. Uh, I'm going to be doing a bit of a tutorial on Zeusing, kind of going over the basics and then working up to slightly more advanced stuff. I don't think I'll be able to cover everything in this one video, so if there is something that I missed that you want to know, do let me know and I will make another video on that topic. So, we're going to go ahead and start at the very beginning. So to move about in Zeus, it's, your good old WASD, hold down right click and you can rotate. If you hold down if you scroll wheel with mouse button, zoom in and out. To get rid of the edit column, it's the echo E key. To get rid of the create column, it's the R for Romeo key. And to get rid of everything, it is backspace. Now this can let you go ahead, get some nice shots. I am on the multiplayer server today, just so I know that I have access to everything. So I am working with mods today, which means certain things in here won't be in a vanilla install of the game, such as the US Unsung faction, and certain things like the ACE section here for in modules. But we'll go over all of this one by one. So to start off, let's go ahead and explain what the Units tab does. So, the Units tab lets you place down an individual entity. Now that could be a person or a vehicle, but whatever it is, it lets you place down just one at a time. Now say you wanted to custom make your own units, your bigger units, so of multiple guys. Say we wanted some scouts, you hold down the left control key and then just click, and as long as it's close enough they will automatically link to the very first unit placed. And then if we want some more, all you have to do is again right next to the original unit placed, just left control click. We can go even into something else, the Australians, and again they'll just attach themselves there. Now that's the Units tab covered. Let's explain what each of these are. So blue 4 is generally the friendly side, so the side that the players will be on. Not always though, you can change what side the players are on in the options for the mission. Op 4, these are generally the enemy, so you've got your Spetsnaz, your CSAT from the vanilla game, and because we're using Unsung, you've got your VC. Independents, which are, as the name says, independent. They won't automatically attack people, but they will attack if shot at. Then you've got the civilians that won't attack at all. They will just run away if they get shot at. And then you have the empty. Now, empty is only empty of like the AI of it. So this is stuff like in things. Say you wanted to place down a stretcher. You can go ahead and place down a stretcher, so this is your objects. They will stick wherever you put them though, to a certain degree, so if they're only a little bit off the ground they may stay, it depends. Like this one, because we placed it down, it's become unstuck so it will move. So if you are having an issue where it sticks in the air once you move it, just move it up a bit higher and it should fall down and become movable again. The other thing that I wanted to mention was this. Say we're here, we wanted to put down a stretcher on top. It doesn't know that that is a ceiling, so if you go ahead, select it, then hold down as if you're going to move it, but hold down left alt. You see the symbology changes from the 4 to the 2, then move up and it scrolls it up. This is how you change the height of an object. Now when it comes to a surface, it will snap to that surface, so it has snapped up here. You can of course leave it up there, and as I say, sometimes it sticks like that. Just go ahead, move it a little and it'll stick and fall down. So that is how you do that. So now that we've explained these tabs, let's go ahead and explain the groups. So groups are pre-built units, so if we go ahead we can see it separates them into different categories. So you've got your armor. So say we wanted a tank destroyer section, it gives you 2 ready-made tank destroyers. Now these are grouped together. Let's go ahead and select some infantry though. So say we just wanted a normal rifle squad, place it down. If you don't hold down anything else, you just left click and place it, that'll be fine. If you wanted to place a second one and you hold down the control, if it's too close, they will all link to that initial unit again, as you saw in the units tab. But if you wanted to place down 2 rifle squads right next to each other, hold down the, select them, click, place them, and then select a new one, and then place them again, and it won't link them. But say they did get linked, I'll explain this now before we move out of units. Say they did get linked, and you wanted to split off half the group. Select the group half that you want to split off, then hold down control. You see that little button there lets you know that you're holding control. Then select them and drag them off. Now you see all of these blue lines? This is now you deciding who the AI is going to listen to. So you can separate them all off completely. Now they're all individual, so they'll act as individuals. If you tell them to move over here, you see they all get placed in a square over there. Whereas if you tell this unit to move, it's just one arrow and it will move in whatever formation and settings you've told it. But say you don't want that, say you want them all to regroup as this unit, go ahead and let's put him off here just for ease of demonstration. Select them all, hold down that control and drag to him. They will now all listen to him. Sometimes you do have a little bit of an issue where they won't be commanded by the one that you want. It may be, you drag them all and then suddenly this guy gets command instead of this one. So double click on him and this brings up the edit page for that unit. So at the minute he's a corporal. You change his rank, just make sure it's higher than anyone else. So for this we'll just say he's a colonel. Go ahead and select all of them. Click and drag to him and it'll be sure to put him in charge. So while we're on units, very quickly we may as well go ahead and explain the edit tab. So let's explain the edit for a single unit. So you can change anything about them. You can change their rank, their stance. So if we say we wanted him to kneel, we can make just him kneel, but the rest still stay standing to whatever the unit is set to. Select him again. So say we want him to just go back to being automatic, you select automatic. You can say respawn. Now I've not really messed with this, there's not really been a reason to mess with it that I found. You can then also mess with their health, how healthy they are. So say we wanted him to be down to half health. Change his ammo, that'll remove his ammo that he has. And then you can up or lower his skill. Now this, I will go and explain skill a bit better, but this ups all levels of skill, so accuracy, shooting and so on. So let's do that. You can see he's a little bit bloodied now that we've lowered his health, and he should have almost no ammo left. You may have also noticed these tabs down here. So if we go ahead, we select skill. This is the detailed skill. So in here, you've just generalized it, say set it up to there. When you go into the skill, it shows that it's set everything up there. But if you want to make a really good enemy, you can just set him all the way up. Or if you want to customize him a bit, you can change each individual element. Now the higher the white bar is, that's the closer to 1, so the more skilled he'll be. You can give them perms as well. Now this works for players as well. So if you've got a player who doesn't have medical perms, go ahead and put him to a doctor. Same for engineer and same for EOD. So now he's got a weird skill group. You can then also go ahead, give him an accessory if you want. Now these are just flags, so let's give him a US flag. So you can see he's now got a flag. And the arsenal button, this is where you can customize AI. So say I wanted to just give him my anti-tank loadout there. You can then go and close that. Now sometimes when you do go into the arsenal, it'll be a bit weird. You'll be stuck in this weird ground view that you won't be able to get out of, just hit Y key, Yankee key. That should put you back into the normal Zeus view that you can look around. So that's how you can edit a single unit. Now, unfortunately, if we copied him, it won't copy the loadout. It'll just be his base loadout, so just be aware of that. Now, if we wanted to do this bit here, I'll explain this. So this, again, is your skill, their call sign. Now, their call sign will show up here in the Edit tab, and it's how you can keep track of your units very quickly. You can change the unit's formation here. Now, I believe it is column that is a bit buggy, especially for vehicles. I'd recommend, I believe it's file. I'll have to look into that, but I believe it is file that works and column that doesn't. But again, these just change the formations. You've got the group behavior. So stealth, they'll try not to shoot, they'll use suppressors. Combat, let's see, they put their guns up, they're ready. You know, it's as if you know your players are coming. Now you see they've all adopted different stances. These guys have gone down onto their bellies, these are crouched. That's because stance is in automatic at the minute. Aware means they're aware, they won't actually shoot, but they'll react quicker to a player. Safe, they'll react very slow to a player. See, they just start wandering around. Unsafe, because they don't really care, they won't stick to their formation, they'll go where they want. And on careless, it's in the name, they're careless. So, combat modes. Fire will engage at will, they will shoot at anything. Fire at will, I believe they will still shoot at anything. I'm not quite sure on the difference of this, but I have found that they are quicker to shoot on this one. Hold fire, engage at will. I believe... I'm not too sure on this one. Hold fire, engage at will. I think that makes them hold fire, but return, like kind of return fire. Or if they see an enemy, they'll be a bit slower to react, I believe. Then hold fire, defend only means they will only shoot if they get shot at. This is what I keep all of the AI on in my missions until things really start kicking off. You can see they're wandering off because they're set to safe, they're doing their own thing. So yeah, so you can do hold fire, defend only, they'll only return fire in this mode. Or hold fire, you can do anything to them and they won't shoot back. So then speeds, you've got your limited, your walking speed, your normal speed and your sprinting speed. Again, you've got your stances, it'll change the whole units and then the respawn. Again, you can go in and change the skill of each individual thing. Or if you want to, you can swap the side so we can make them all civilians. So that explains that. That is, I think, most of the unit stuff explained. So we're going to go ahead, jump into modules really quickly. We'll come back to stuff like movement in a bit. So we have, I'll need to place down a group actually for this. So again, let's place down our favourite rifle squad. So in modules, Ace AI, these all do different things. So toggle flashlights, you can make an entire side have flashlights. I do this a lot so that it's very clear to players. If players are scouting and looking out, they then may see, oh, they have flashlights, meaning they don't have night vision goggles. So the players that do have night vision goggles can take advantage of this. Toggle NVGs, again, you can disable them. So they had them, now they're gone. You've then got suppressive fire, and then you get to click where you want them to suppress. So they will just start suppressing that area. And they really don't care who gets in their way. As you can see, they've just killed their own guy there. And I do believe they just keep on doing that. You've got search area. So we're telling them now, go ahead and search this. Need to find a way to stop them firing actually. This is the issue, I've never used that suppressive fire before. I've never found a need to use it. Let's put them back there. Delete him. The delete key, delete stuff, by the way. So yeah, so you've got all these different things. So patrol area, you get them to patrol in a radius, so they will go ahead and do that. You can move these points. You can see the lines again of where it goes to, and they will just move between these points. Search area, they'll search it, search nearby buildings. They'll search any nearby buildings, but there aren't any on this map. Patrol area again. Paradrop cargo is for aircraft. You need to place it on an aircraft. So let's go and try this out actually. Helicopters, place down a Chinook. And go ahead and paradrop cargo. So no cargo is loaded, so you need to load a cargo into it. I forget what it can load into it, but you can go ahead and select the smallest thing ever, the quad bike, and see if that can be loaded in. Nope, it falls through the map. So only certain vehicles can be loaded in, and only certain vehicles can load. So let's get rid of that. I really want to demonstrate this now. So Pacific, is it in planes? Yes, it is. Vehicle transporter. Here we go. So it's big. So we can go ahead, and that is now inside of it. So now you can, for aircraft, if you alt drag, change its height and put it high enough up, the engines kick in straight away. So I'm going to go ahead, power drop cargo. No cargo is loaded. I'm not sure about this. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so you kind of get the idea of what can happen here. Defend radius, they'll defend here. Then Ace Arsenal, you can add full Ace Arsenals and such. I don't do this because we don't use Ace Arsenals in our missions. Captives, again. So if you're playing, if your players get captured, go ahead. You can toggle their surrender. So then they'll put their hands up. You can also do this with the AI. Say if they've got a hunter mission, to go and hunt down a certain AI, you can go ahead and do this. Or if you want to take a player captive, toggle captive, and they are then a captive. So to take control of a unit, which I'll explain now, you select it, you then hit control and double click control, and you have now got control of this unit. So, you can walk up to them, free them, escort them, whatever you want to do, take out open their inventory, all that good stuff. You hit Y to get out of that. You've then got Ace Medical, so you can injure someone and do exactly what. So say you want them to have had a bullet wound to the torso. Say it's a moderate one. Say they're in a bit of pain, that's the flashing light that they'll get. You can change their heart rate, change their blood pressure, and make them go unconscious if you want to. So that's killed him because the wound was too big. So be careful of that when you wound your players. If you do, you've then got the heal. So this is the partial heal. And the full heal, which will cure everything. You've then got assign medic, medical facility, medical vehicle, all that type of stuff. Toggle unconsciousness is good for getting rid of a bugged player. So occasionally players can become bugged in the unconscious state, so they can't be woken up. So you will need to toggle their unconsciousness, and then that will fix them. Ace Repair, that's vehicle stuff. Most of this stuff is self-explanatory. I'll skip over a few things that I think are self-explanatory. Of this utility tab, the only thing that I've ever really used is teleport players. You just type in what player you want to teleport, and then it will teleport them. You can also teleport their group. And another thing to be wary of is when you have it in the air, you can still teleport players, but they will parachute in. So it can be quite fun doing that sometimes. But if you teleport a group of players, if there's too many in the group, they'll all be teleported into the one space, which will then bug them out, and they will hurt themselves, they'll hurt each other. So just be careful of that one. AI behavior, this can change a lot of things. So ambient animation, I use this quite a bit. So you've got a lot of animations. Say you wanted to make a vehicle repair station, you do the repair, say like kneeling. It's also good if you want to say put down a civilian, say he is working. Yeah, kneel. So you can pretend he's working like farming or whatever. From a distance, it looks fairly convincing. And then when you want to stop the animation, just go ahead, go up to stop animation. Now that combat ready true false thing means if they get shot at, will they stop the animation? Change abilities. Again, you can change all this stuff. Change altitude. It's a fun one. That doesn't seem to be working at the minute. It has worked for me in the past. That's unfortunate. Have a seat. If there's a seat nearby, it will sit the AI down onto the chair. Patrol/loiter. Again, you can get them to, go into a patrol, but it's more customizable than the Ace AI patrol one. Search and garrison buildings. So that's if you wanted them to move from here to a building, search it, and then garrison it. So if someone's watching, if a player is watching, it looks a lot better than just teleporting them. Garrison building instant. You can say, the radius away, inside out, fill evenly, and they will garrison any buildings within that range. Set suicide bomber, again, you can make him say like, activation side, activate on blue 4, deadly explosion size large, activation distance 100 meters, add a vest. But you can't do that because of unit side. So it would have to be, another side. So a civilian, you could do it on. Like that. So yeah, so he's now got his little vest on. But it's not set to activate on blue, I don't think. Surrender unit again. It just straight up surrenders them. Ungarrison is if you've got them garrisoned. They only work on the ones that you did. So if you did the AI garrison group, which is this, which I use this one. Normally, if it's in a village, random filling, set it to like 200 meters. Teleport them, fill from top to bottom, and random it. If you then want them to ungarrison, you have to use the ungarrison group from the Ace AI. You can't use the AI behavior ungarrison. And then, yeah, search nearby buildings, all that type of stuff we already went through. Animals, you can place animals down. What am I doing? I should place down a goat. Zeus may be watching this. Arsenal. This is how you create a arsenal. So say we had a car. Come on, car. Where's the car? Hemmet cargo. Say you wanted that to also be a arsenal. Add full arsenal. It's now an arsenal. You can copy, paste inventories and all this type of stuff as well. Audio, if you want to play music for your players to listen to, you can say what sides will hear it, exactly what groups will hear it, what players will hear it, what the music is, and it'll play a little bit for you to hear as well. Play radio messages, this will be to the whole side, so I like to try and do this whenever I can, so it's like if I'm telling them hold out until you're relieved, you'll do this, and then if they're on blue 4, they'll hear that radio message, come through like reinforcements from route or whatever it is. Playing sounds, this is quite good for alarms, firefights, explosions, making it sound like there's stuff going on in the distance. Buildings, you can lock doors, open doors. This is safe to say it can be used on vanilla maps, but modded maps like the one we're on today, it's a hit and miss depending on the map, if it'll work or not. it's better to just stick to using that type of stuff on vanilla maps. Dev tools, again, you can do advanced compositions. So my stuff that I've made here, so like decontent there, so you can edit it, you can add your compositions in that. Yeah, so I don't really use this too much, but you can copy, do all that type of stuff to it. Environments, skip time, set date, time acceleration, and weather are fantastic. So set date, you can set whatever date. Now on here you'll see like there, 7th Monday. That symbol there means it's a full moon, which means that if it's nighttime, it will be bright for players. I always recommend using full moon unless they have night vision goggles. Skip time, you just skip to whenever it is, and they'll get a message like, 2 days later or whatever. Time acceleration, how fast do you want the time to move? Do you want it to move so one day is 24 minutes or it's paused? Weather, you can change the weather like that, or there is a customizable weather feature, advanced weather change here. So you can make it an immediate transition or a smooth one. I always recommend smooth. It makes it a bit nicer for people. To make it rain, overcast needs to be above 50%, which it is. To be lightning, overcast needs to be 100%, and so on and so forth. You can say what direction the wind's coming in. It will be especially effective that against snipers. Changing the wind direction on them. Waves, you can add waves if you're near the water. All that good stuff. Post-process. I have not played around with this, so I will not say anything about it because I don't know what it does yet. Equipment. So add NVD, tactical light, IR, that type of stuff. Again, you can say if you want them to have thermals, whatever. Fire support, here we go. So, say they're under attack. You can, if you wanted to, say place down NVA, artillery, and place down some mortars. Or, if that's not too good for you, you don't want to do that, you want to get it accurate, go ahead, hit the mortar button, and it will do a mortar. Now that orange circle it can hit anywhere in that circle. And I'll see if it happens in the open. No, there's usually a red circle in the middle where it's going to hit, and I think the orange one is its effect radius. So that's kind of like the radius where it will probably kill someone, from what I've understood. Advanced CAS, if you've got an aircraft placed down, let's go ahead and place one down. Let's go ahead and put that one down there. So advanced CAS. The aircraft can't be touching the ground. Oh yes, so create target. Say you want to create a target here, select which side you want it to be for, so blue for target alpha. You can go ahead, select that, so target alpha, what you want it to use, number of strikes, how offset, so it's accuracy, so if you want it to be within a 20-meter accuracy, go ahead, do that. It will then path a course to go and attack that. This is what I use suppressive fire for as well. I'll place down the target, then use suppressive fire, and you can do a lot more detailed suppressive fire. So there you will then move in and do that suppressive fire. He will come in and do his attack on it. So you can make it a really nice, again, cinematic type of experience for players. CAS bomb strikes. So once you have that, it may take a while to load the first time, but you can select exactly what you want. So say we wanted an A10 to come in, you select OK. Now that arrow is the direction the aircraft will be coming in from. You can change it, and it will just change where the aircraft is coming in from. So if you've made a mistake last minute, don't worry, you can move it, and it just moves the aircraft. There is a certain cut-off point for that though, so be careful. Now this will drop a bomb. It will usually tell you what type of bomb. So the A10 will drop a regular GBU dumb bomb type thing. Big boom. different planes will drop different stuff. So you can see here, Kaz in this mod, so be careful, it will differ between mod, vanilla, everything. So Kaz is napalm in this mod, you know, so just be careful. Again, gun runs, gun and missiles, all that good stuff. Howitzer, bit of a bigger boom, and as you can see, a bigger circle. Then the 230mm rocket. That is a very big area of effect type of munition. And it's a cluster munition, as you can see. So it's not like a rocket. So let's go ahead into MISC. I have not used this before, and I don't know what it does. I've never needed to use it before. Objectives, you can select, so say you wanted, this was going to be under attack and defend. So you say attackers are red, defenders are blue, area size 200 meters, 100 meters, let's make it, and area name base. So it tells you what it does. When the attacker sees it, the objective will be completed and the defenders won't be able to reclaim the sector afterwards. So you go ahead and do that. So then Alpha Team captured by Blue 4. So that's a quite a nice little way of helping your players guide them. Again, you've got move orders, so what side it's for, so on. I haven't used these as much as I should. They're very nice. They help, I think, with the flow of things. Now, objects. This is a bit more advanced type of stuff. So, say we wanted to place down a static. Now, this little bit here, include crew, don't include it. When it's unticked, it will not include the crew. So, say we wanted a little bird. It's got no crew in it. Let's go ahead here. So, we want that. Select which module it should be attached to. So, you click, then you hit enter. So, now that is attached to that. So now when this moves, that will move as well. I cannot remember how to unattach stuff, however. I don't know if you can. But you can just delete the individual thing. Create IED. Anything can become an IED that is not alive, unfortunately. So a truck can become an IED. So that's how you make like a car bomb or something. Enable, disable simulation. Simulation disabled, so it will stop him. He's now paused. He will no longer fall to the ground. Go ahead and enable his simulation again, and he will fall. Now units, while I remember that, if you change the height too much, they will become paratroopers. So that's objects, players. Now, if they're messing about a bit and you don't want to thunderbolt them, go ahead, select a punishment and make them do some push-ups or whatever. I've done this a few times. Sorry, TFA, if you're watching this. It's me who's been doing this to you. Change radio frequencies, teleport again, but you don't need to. The AC utility is better, I've found. So you can teleport everyone. Additional option include vehicles, halo, drop them, whatever. It is decent, but yeah. Create teleporter. Now, say, create that as alpha, and set this as this gun right here as Bravo. So now they are linked, so go ahead, select this guy. You can then say, teleport to Bravo. It may not work. It's Arma. Where were we? Teleport. Yes, and change side of player. So, say he's here, not the entire group. Selected him only. We want him to become red. Oh dear. Yeah, the AI aren't the best. But yeah, so that's how you do that. Reinforcements, my favourite tab. So, in vanilla maps, AI will follow the road. However, as you may be able to tell, sometimes they don't know what a road is. It looks like this is good. It seems like the AI knows that this is a road. It's a little bit off, as you can see. It's a very good mod, Unsung. And yeah, so Unsung is a fantastic mod. I must say this, by the way, before I forget. But yeah, so it does know what a road is in this, but be careful, it doesn't always. So, say we wanted to create a landing zone. Let's create one here, on this road here. LZ Alpha. Now, an RP is a rally point. That's where your infantry will head to once they disembark. Now, if we wanted to spawn a supply drop, you can go ahead, select that. Now it will tell you what you want. So we want blue 4, we want it to be US, and a... pardon me, sorry. Sometimes it will limit things depending on what vehicles are available. So NATO, you have cars, Hemet cargoes. You can tell it to stay at the LZ or RTB and despawn. Select Alpha. What do you want it to transport? An ammunition crate, which you can say add a full arsenal to. Now this will add a ace arsenal, so they're going to have to ace interact with it. If you want them to add a normal arsenal where they can scroll wheel, you're going to have to add that manually. You can edit the cargo, so say what is in there specifically, or make it empty. And then say what it is, so it's ammo in this case, so we're going to select ammo, and then you can select what it looks like. If it was, say, humanitarian, you can say exactly that, and so on. So when you select that, it will give it a waypoint to the LZ. You will drive there and get rid of it. Yeah, so it's a pretty big thing for just the one box, as you can tell. So you can also transport vehicles in this way. They have to be small vehicles. We'll go ahead and delete them. If we wanted to do a supply drop with a helicopter, so let's go ahead, US Unsung, no, NATO. Helicopters. Let's say we wanted a Chinook to take in to RTB and despawn, LZ Alpha, take in an ammunition crate, and all of that stuff. It will undersling it, it will fly over, drop it off, and fly back automatically. Now the spawn units bit is a little bit more complex, but not that much. So you can say exactly what you want. So say reinforcements are en route, NATO is coming in some cars. Now this number here tells you how many people can fit in. So Hemet Medical can take 16, MATV can take 3, Polaris can take 6, so let's go ahead and select that. RTB and despawn in this scenario, LZ Alpha. Now you select what type of unit you want. So let's go ahead and select, to show you what happens, an assault squad. Now it's got 8 people in, it will automatically get rid of 2 people. Unit RP Alpha. So once they've dismounted, they will head to this RP. Unit behavior, we're going to say combat. Now these units will come in at full skill, so be careful. So yeah, so he's gone in, he's dropped off the crate, and he's now going to RTB and despawn. Sometimes this does happen. They get stuck, they don't know what to do. Give them a little nudge, and it will wake them up. If in doubt, give the AI a bit of a kick. That's what I always do. So yeah, so in this scenario, they are just getting here. Once they're within a certain range of this waypoint, they may not always go to the waypoint. The assault team will disembark. They will wait, like form a perimeter. Once they've all disembarked, they will then make their way to the RP, and this guy will RTB once they've moved away. You can do that again with helicopters, boats, it just works. I've found it's the best way to avoid the AI being a bit silly, because sometimes the AI isn't the best, shall we say. Respawn. So if you're going to expect your players to die, put down a player's respawn point, they can then respawn here. They'll also get a message on their screen saying new respawn point created, and they can now respawn on that point. Same with vehicles. If you've got a vehicle spawner, you can change the loadouts of people, that type of stuff. But yeah, that'll be the loadouts available to them in the respawn screen, so they will spawn with that loadout. Scenario float. This is where you can add a briefing. You can change the side relations. So if we suddenly wanted to say Blue 4 and Not 4 have suddenly made friends, we can do that. We can play a radio message, and now they're best of friends. But we don't really want to do that, do we? So delete that briefing. Change side relations. They're now not the best of friends. So now they're going to kill each other again. Countdown. Adds countdown until that message displays. So side with best score wins. That's if you're using point systems. You can create or edit intel. So say if they found this mortar, I could say, okay, when you get here and look at it, you can have the action text of pick up intel. That will take 1 second, let's say 3 seconds instead, and we don't want it to delete the object on completion, so keep it as false so it can keep on using the mortar. This will be the title of the intel, what we want, and then who you want it to be shared with. So if it's shared with no one, only that player will be able to see what they have found, or the group, or the entire side. Respawn tickets, again, if you're using a respawn system, generally only used in PvP or if you're expecting a really high mortality rate in a mission. End scenario will end the scenario. You pick what you want to end the scenario with. And scenario name, again, TFA training jungle, or whatever it is you want. Spawn, here we go. So advanced compositions is nice. So you have your base Ares stuff. Now this is all Ares mod stuff, which is fantastic. The advanced compositions. Say you wanted to spawn a gorilla furniture stockpile. There you go. Rather than having to find a log pile, a can, an axe, and all of this stuff individually in the empty section, in things and structures and that, you just have to do that, which is awesome. This is also how you can place down things which you've already made in the my stuff. So I've made, say, a decontamination tent complex, and this is how you can spawn it in. I'm planning on doing a few things with the new DLC, if you haven't guessed by everything that I'm spawning in here. This is going to be a Halloween mission. For those of you watching now who are part of TFA, I am already building Halloween missions, yes. Guess what will be in that mission by looking at this. So, because we spawned it in on uneven ground, the ground stuff has tried to match the ground. But yeah, we'll be most likely doing it on Altis. But yeah, so we've got decontamination showers. Sorry, I'm just showing off what I've made here, aren't I? Little storeroom. Again, these things should be up, but because it's not a flat map, we've got a medical wing here as well. Lots of nice little things. Medical station. Going down here into the command room. Come on. There we go. We are in the command room. So yeah, so this is my little thing that I've made. That's a little bit of a early look at what I'm making for TFA at the minute. Mines and explosives, if you want to make a minefield. What type of mine you want, if you want UXO. I used this in a mission not too long ago where they had to go and demine a field. I just did that and hit go, and it spawns that many mines. You can have warning signs around it, or you can take them out, whichever you prefer. Spawn effect, really, really good. You can do white flares, it'll then spawn a flare. You can't really see it because of the time of day. It's just there. But yeah, that'll spawn a flare. Or you can go ahead, select whatever. So smoke grenades, I've used this countless times to help them on their assaults. You may have seen it in the last video that Cat put up. There was a load of smoke grenades covering their approach to a fob. That was me putting down all these smoke grenades. I do this quite a bit. You can change them. You can make it a bloody rainbow if you want to, whatever. And yes, these are really good. They come out quite a bit. They cover the advance quite well. As you can see, you know, if you're an infantryman here, you've got no clue what's going on behind that, and it covers your advance really nicely. Yeah, more effects that you can do: IR grenades, chem lights, light sources as well. If you want to make like a little camp, so say at night, you know, this fire here, if you wanted to actually make it give out light, go ahead, spawn light source on it, spawn a yellow light source, and then you can change everything about it. Yeah, more effects. Persistent smoke pillars, I use this a lot. So say you've got a vehicle which you've not blown up, but you want it to be smoking, or is blown up but you want it to still be smoking, go ahead, use that. Then you've got tracers, which will fire up into the air with the noise. It helps with the atmosphere. Or custom fire. Now this will launch you into this screen, and what it does is it lets you place down fire. This is a tiny fire. You can make it go a lot bigger. So the effect size. So say we wanted it to be 22. It'll then go here, but we've not changed any of the other settings, so it looks quite sparse. But say you wanted it to be a bit more dense. Let's say 100. You can add damage if you want it to damage your players, if they want to go in and have a peek at it. You know, you can say, no you don't. But yeah, so we've upped the density so there's more fire. You can change all sorts of things. TFR, Task Force Radio, static radio. Never used this before. I need to experiment. Of course, I'm always learning about this type of stuff. Now, Zeus tab. Here we go. Add, remove, editable object by Zeus. So say here, we've placed down this and we're happy with where it is, and we don't want to accidentally select it again and move it. Go ahead, add, remove, editable object. Go ahead and remove it. You can say in a 5-meter radius, and you can choose exactly what you want it to remove. We're going to say everything. And now you can't select it anymore. Say, though, you go, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Add it, and it's back, and you can delete it. Arsenal, again, if you want to add an arsenal. But I don't use this, that's the base game one. I always use the... Where was it again? Arsenal, yeah, that one. The Ares one. Hide Zeus, that's if you've got a body, I believe, but I don't have a body today. Promote to Zeus if you wanted to give a player the ability to enter Zeus. That'll also be dictated by server settings. Remote control. This is another way to take control of a unit. So rather than double control and double clicking on them, you can go ahead and remote control. Switch unit. Switch unit. Ooh. I thought that this did something different. My apologies. I thought that let you change what the unit is. But yeah, and then the Zeus Lightning Bolt. So if the AI ever get too annoying for you, Lightning Bolt him. And they give you a nice little rewarding little thing, so... Oh yeah, they also can't run away, so... That's the fun thing. So say you wanted them to move that way, you know, you're struggling to hit them with the lightning bolts, just don't control click on him, and it locks onto him. But yeah, so that is everything from this bit. Markers, say you wanted on the map, you wanted them to go and assault this far up down here, go ahead, select that as an objective. Players can then see this on the map and know where it is you want them to go. Same with any of these things. and recent is just the recent stuff that you've done. So that is the base. So that is everything to do with this tab. I'll very quickly cover unit movement. I know it's a long video so far, just stick with it a little longer and then we're done. Infantry, rifle squad. I'm going to try and hurry through this because I know this is going to be the longest video I've ever made. So go ahead, say you wanted them in column formation. They will then slowly move into column formation, but I'm fed up with them doing that, so set to aware and make them run. Now they will try and get themselves in order, but again, I think column's the one that is a bit iffy. Or no, it was the fence making them struggle. So as you see, there's a little bit of bug testing that you have to do with them. Now, they're all in column, so say you want them to move from here to the fob. Now like that, it's really a 50-50. Sometimes they will follow the road. If the road is a thing, if they know that the road is a thing, they will follow the road. If not, they will literally just go that way. So you have to be careful if you're wanting to do, like last night, a ambush. Like now they are doing this, but say you wanted them to walk at a limited pace. This slows them down like that. And again, say you wanted them to be safe, so that they put their weapons down and just walk like normal. That's how you get them to do it. If you do place them, say here, and told them to make it to the base, they will most likely just run through the jungle. Which they will do, but they will do it very slowly because they have to try and path around all the trees. They will also be... I think I actually missed this one, actually. Global AI skill level. Yes, I missed this bit. So you can go ahead and change every single AI on the whole server or the mission, their general skill, their accuracy, weapon handling, and spotting. So the spotting is how far away they'll see someone from. I'm not sure on the ranges exactly. I think it depends on if they've got sights and so on. Accuracy is if they're shooting at them, how likely are they to hit. And weapon handling, I believe, is how well they handle the weapon. I'm sorry it sounds like weird, but it's the simplest explanation that I can think of. Seek cover. Now, with it on, they will seek cover. If there's people shooting near them, they will be very, very slow to advance. They will bound from one bit of cover to the next. But if you want it to be a bit faster paced, turn that off. Auto combat means that they'll get into auto combat and everything, so I just leave that on. And yes, like now, see, so they've stopped following the road. They now think, okay, so it's going to be quicker for us to go that way than follow the road, so you have to be careful at times. Because placing them here, they thought it's quicker following the road, but as soon as they got here, it's quicker for them to go off-road. So just keep that in mind. A way to stop that is if you hold down Control and click and just follow the road, and if you Control click, it places waypoints, much like the patrol that we saw before, and they have to follow these, but depends where you put them. So we'll put them on full speed and see where they get to. It may take them a while to break into a sprint. There we go. Yeah, so they'll get to it and then they'll stop for a second. Now, these guys will mess up slightly. So he'll get to it here, stop. Oh, the next waypoint's here. Then he'll stop. Oh, the next point, so on and so on. Where was I? Yes, movement and that type of stuff. So that's how you do chained waypoints, formations. Now, say I've caught out players a lot before with this. Say a VC squad of 8 men. Let's put them over here so they don't affect those AI. Now here, when they're placed like that, they're not too tricky to spot, are they? However, put them in a line, once they're in a line. Now I put them in line to help with ambushes. So if I want to ambush the players, I'll tell these guys to get in a line. They'll form a line. You can then rotate the object. Oh, I should have said this at the beginning. You can rotate them by holding down Shift and clicking and dragging, and it will just rotate them. So to face forward to wherever your mouse is. So they are now facing that way. So double click on this icon again. Now force them all to go prone. Now, they're not so easy to spot anymore, are they? Until they come into the open. But even if you're walking through here, you may not spot them until you come right up on top of them. But the AI will spot you first. See, like, you can't even see that guy because he's inside a tree, which is a bit of a buggy issue again with Arma, but yeah. So that's a good way to get an ambush going. I believe that's all of the basics covered, or the not basic basics, but you know, basics plus advanced basics. So yeah, this is them following the road now. And yeah, I do think that's about everything. So sorry it was such a long video, but I did want to get as much as I could down. Oh yes, this bit here. So the front man will stick to the road, to the waypoints, but the back people, if they get too far separated, they will take the quickest route to rejoin, so whether that's off-road. So you may only get the front man following the waypoints. So it's best, rather than setting a lot of waypoints for a long journey, it's a lot more micro-intensive. However, place one waypoint, make him go to that. Once they have all reached that waypoint, then give them a new waypoint, you know. So once they've all caught up, then give them a waypoint. But you can give them a bit of help by clicking and dragging the AI. So yeah, so they've now all caught up, so now you give them a new waypoint. Oh, specify position, yes. Say you are on NATO, single units, helicopters, and say you wanted to place it. Oh yes, to move your camera about like this on the map, it's the middle mouse button to press. So click in the middle mouse button, and you can move your map like that. T will change the look of your map. But yeah, so say we had a little bird, and we wanted to put it above the water. But if you place it down normally, let's show you, it would be under the water and would die instantly. However, with specify position on, you click it down, and it's above the water. Now, it says move to where you want it to be, so I want it to be right there. And now that I'm happy with its position, I hit the enter key, and it activates. That was too low, so it didn't, as I said, you know, they have to be a certain height above the floor for the rotor blades to activate. So like now, there you go. But yeah, so that's how you place objects on water or other terrains that would normally destroy them. So placing a little bird in here would normally destroy it because of all the trees. But you can place it above the trees and away it goes. Yes, one last thing as well, I just remembered. Say it's going like this. Let's find a clear bit of ground. Here. You can double click and you get a lot of different waypoint things. So if it's a helicopter, you can tell it to land. If it's got troops in, you can tell it to unload the troops. Different things, seek and destroy, so it will stay and kill anything that it sees. Hold sentry, circle, transport, unload, whatever. So we're going to tell. You can also get it to fast rope any troops it has inside of it. And that brings me back to this one, which I just forgot. So reinforcements, spawn units. Now, if it's in a helicopter, you can change the type of thing that it does. It can paratroop, it can land, or it can fast rope. If it's on fast rope, I suggest telling it to stay at the LZ. Otherwise, it can bug out, I have found. But yeah, so we've told it to land, so it's going to come in and try and land as close to that as it can. Infantry, if you put down So say you have the infantry, and you want them to get into that helicopter. Click and drag as if you're moving them over the helicopter. Now the vehicle is full, but if the vehicle wasn't full, oh yeah, and specified position works on infantry as well, I should mention. Say we had a Chinook here, and we wanted these infantry to get inside of it. You can click and drag, and they will get in. You can then tell the Chinook to go away that way, and then come here and unload. So it will land and unload the troops that it has. You can tell it to power drop instead, just land, whatever. If it does just land, and say you have your troops, you can click your troops onto it, and they will now try and get in. So as soon as this lands, so as soon as this lands, these troops will embark onto it. Yeah, you can also let's select a new recon team to show you more waypoint stuff. So again, if they've got mine clearance, you can tell them to clear the mines. Lift closest cargo again if there's a cargo that can be lifted. That is very helpful. It's very nice to say, like, you know, oh yeah, here they go. So they're going to get in there. Now if you want to unload the entire aircraft, or say you just wanted to unload these guys, select them here and press G. That's the golf key, and they will all disembark straight away. But yeah, so say we wanted this helicopter to lift a quad bike. Go ahead, place it over there, give it this, and lift closest cargo. Oh yes, delete deletes and end kills the unit. So this will now go ahead and lift that cargo. Let's see if there's any more. Repair, if they've got a repair kit and they're engineers, they will repair something. If they're inside there, then it will, if you select that, then it will para drop them. Search buildings, transport unload, again. Seek and destroy again, yeah. I think that's about it. And then you can tell them to wait. So to get to that objective, and then you can tell them, at this objective, I want you in a wedge, a V, whatever. I want you to get into this stance once you hit this objective. Move at this speed, wait until here, and that is determined by the clock up here. But I think that's about everything. So yeah, so if the cargo's light enough, then the aircraft will come down and it will lift it. And then you can tell it to drop it with that transport unload command. I do actually think now that that is everything, so if I have missed anything, please do let me know. Sorry this was such a long video, but I did want to get everything out in just one go to try and help anyone who needs a bit of help Zeusing. But yes, I do hope that you've enjoyed this. If you need any other help with anything, just pop it down in the comments and I will try and do my best to help out. But yeah, if in doubt, if you need to create anything quickly, go to advanced compositions. You know, you get quite a lot of nice stuff in there. If not that, then go into groups and empty, and then you can say throw down a outpost very quickly. And it will build you a ready-made outpost, which is they're all really nice, these. But yeah, so I do hope if you need any of, I do hope this has covered everything. Yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next time.